It's getting even more awkward. That's a look at your forecast. Ginger now has an update on traffic.
So many things to talk about for your drive this morning. So if your plans take you onto the 10 freeway, oftentimes, right, the 10 freeway is the busy stretch heading west. So the westbound side of the 10, right here at about Indian Hill Boulevard, there is a report of a crash that's still sitting in lanes. I mean, you see it, kind of a slow drive, right, in both directions, but more so on that westbound side. A little touch and go there. We'll take you over to look at the 5 freeway. So it's obviously both directions of the 5. So we know for our friends who are moving through areas of Acton, wind advisories were issued earlier this morning. But in terms of your 5, right about, say, Smoky Bear Road is where the CHP is clocking some of those wind gusts to be pretty strong. So they're saying now they want to issue wind advisories for our friends who are towing things in high-profile vehicles, maybe you have a trailer, that kind of stuff. That means those winds are going to really whip for you, so you've got to be careful. It's a little bit late for those advisories to be issued. Oftentimes we'll get it sometimes between like midnight to about 2 in the morning. They'll assess the situation, but then when they assess it again, those winds were just strong enough, they decided we better issue these wind advisories. We'll watch all the things that's going to slow your roll on this Tuesday. I'll send it back to you guys.
Sing that. A mother and her 6-year-old daughter are recovering after their car was involved in a crash with a police cruiser in Encino. It happened just before 9 o'clock last night on Lindley Avenue. It's unclear what led up to the crash or if the officers had their lights and sirens on at the time. The mother and daughter taken to the hospital. Their injuries don't appear to be life-threatening. One of the 2 officers was treated at the scene for a hand injury.
A French bulldog has been reunited with its owner after being separated for more than 2 years. Havoc is the dog's name. Havoc ran through a cul-de-sac access in North Hollywood and was stolen by a passing motorist. He ended up in Apple Valley, where some Good Samaritans found him and took him to the local animal shelter. Havoc was chipped, so when they called Yasmin Hazard to have her read back the code, it was determined that it was her dog. After Havoc went missing, Hazard rescued 2 other Frenchies, so now he has some friends to play with.
Oh. A warning to beachgoers this morning to stay clear of sick marine mammals on shore.
The animals are suffering from a type of poisoning from toxic algae blooms. KTLA's Alina Bovian is live at the Marine Mammal Care Center in San Pedro with more. Alina.
Lauren, Frank, good morning. You know, it's so sad because this toxic algae is actually a neurotoxin, and it's making these poor sea lion really sick. Now, take a look behind me. We are here at the Marine Mammal Care Center. I'd like to bring in David Bader. He is a marine biologist. This has been happening for a few weeks now.
Yeah, it's been a really big deal for us. We have more animals stranding right now than we can really keep up with, and they're all over the beaches this morning as well. It's pretty dramatic.
That's right. So the city of Hermosa Beach, they put out a message, I believe it was yesterday, on X, essentially warning beachgoers to keep away from these animals. What should people look out for if they happen to come across an animal they suspect might be sick?
Yeah, these animals are suffering from a neurotoxin, domoic acid toxicosis, and they have very unpredictable behavior. They can be aggressive, they can be lethargic, they can have seizures, and what we want people to do is stay at least 50 feet away. Give us a call at 800-39-WHALE. We'll come to respond to that animal. And we also have volunteers on the beach. We have our Pinniped Patrol out there. We want you to listen to them. They'll inform you about the situation and help to keep you safe and the animals safe.
So where does this toxic algae come from, and why is it of concern right now specifically?
Yeah, so there's a bloom of an algae off the coast. The algae is called Pseudonychia, and it produces a neurotoxin called domoic acid that builds up in the food chain and ends up being consumed and concentrated into the animals that you see here. California sea lions, dolphins, and seabirds all can be affected. It can cause all sorts of situations and often also death.
So all these sea lions here, they've been rescued from our local beaches?
Yeah, all the sea lions that we have right here have been rescued from LA County beaches. That's our area of operation. This bloom has spread, though. It started here, concentrated off Malibu and in LA County, and now it's as far down as San Diego and also into San Luis Obispo.
And just curious, the recent fires, all the runoff, has that contributed to it in any way?
So we're in our 4th consecutive year of this harmful algal bloom. They were like every 3 to 7 years before. So what we're seeing right now is something that's been happening with increasing frequency. Could the fires have contributed in some way to the cause of this? More research is going to have to know, but what we do know is we're seeing an increase in the frequency and intensity of these kinds of events, and we need to be prepared for this to happen in the future.
One last question. What can folks at home do if they want to help, if they want to contribute, donate?
Yeah, we really need everyone's help right now. These types of events incur additional expense for us, for medicine, for food. You can go to our website at marinemammalcare.org, hit the donate button to help us there, and we can always use volunteers. You can also find that on our website. And lastly, please pay attention to our volunteers on the beach and call 800-39-WHALE if you see an animal in distress.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, David Bader, marine biologist. You heard the man. If you would like to contribute, if you'd like to donate, you certainly can. They do need funds. They do need hands on deck right here. We'll send it back to the studio.
Alina, thank you for that. The FAA is investigating after a Delta plane hit its wing on the runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport. The plane flying in Sunday night from Jacksonville, Florida, was executing a go-around. That's when the pilot abandons a landing and circles around the runway for another approach. Well, someone in the tower reported seeing one of the wings spark on the tarmac. No one was injured on board, and the plane landed without incident. Delta says the plane has been taken out of service for maintenance.
All right, it's 8:37. Kirk is here, and boy, we had a little bit of rain right at the end of the day yesterday, and then boom, gone, right?
Totally gone. In fact, no sign of rain for the next 7 days. In fact, really spectacular conditions today all across the Southland, with the exception of some of those gusty winds in our mountains and deserts, expected to diminish as we get toward the afternoon and the evening hours. But a great Tuesday morning. Even a little bit chilly, 42 in Lancaster, 44 in Oxnard, 49 in Long Beach, just 28 in Big Bear along the coast. We'll see a high today of 62 degrees.